practice. This leads to the development of the mind in all its aspects. The mind is a mind, and it is source of all virtue, all knowledge, all power, leading to the freedom from the bondage of worldly existence. So through sila or morality, one trains the mind in order to develop it and ultimately. So to free or purity of the completely. In there, I would like to sharing with you all the purity and the impurities that depend on oneself. No one purify another's. The Buddha in here, he is only a teacher. He just show the path to us. How can we liberate? How can we develop ourselves? The the doctrine, the Buddhism, the doctrine is profound and hard to see and difficult to understand, calm and sublime, and not within the sphere to logic and subtle, and it is to be understood by the wise, and it is the unique path to the enlightenment. So also the Buddha Dharma is a moral and philosophical system which is expound the unique path to the enlightenment. In this universe, everyone want to be free from suffering to find happiness, to be free from bondage to find liberation and purity of the mind, to be free from darkness to find light of wisdom. All human, they desire, they want to live happily, they want to live peacefully. You cannot find in the around the world a single man they want to live in with the suffering. Everyone want to live peacefully and happily. Everyone want to live with the freedom. Everyone want to be live with the light of the wisdom. But how can we need to be the gradually need to develop of our mind, our thought, our action. Very beginning, I have to share with you the mind precedes all mental state. Whatever we act, whatever we speaking, whatever we are thinking, everything is the begin from the our mind. So therefore, continue maintain the purity of our mind, of our action, of our thought. We need to be first establishment in the sila. It is our first level or beginning level. Sila is the or practice of morality, then practice of samadhi, then samadhi will bring to you wisdom. Wisdom is mean that you have when you practice the samadhi, then right understanding and right thought affair with you. So therefore, the Buddhism is possesses an excellent code of moral suitable to both advanced and unadvanced type of individual. So once again, I would like to refer there are the five precepts. This is the very important law in this universe and important teachings of the Buddha. The five precepts, they are not to kill, not to steal, not to commit any sexual misconduct, and not to lie, and not to take intoxicant, any alcohol or drinks. And secondly, the four sublime state, which is called metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. Metta is the loving kindness, compassion is the karuna, and mudita is the appreciated joy, and upekka is equanimity. This is called the fourth sublime of Brahma Vihara or sublime state. This is very important things in the Buddhism and Buddha's teachings. Then the 10 transcendental virtues, which is we call the parami. Parami is called perfection, generosity, morality, renunciation, wisdom, energy, patience, truthfulness, resolutions, loving kindness, and equanimity. This is the highest qualities in the human life, or the 10 highest virtues in human life. If you want to liberate, if you want to free from suffering, you need to cultivate this 10 perfection or 10 virtue. It is very important and very relevant in our human life. Then if we practice the fundamental teachings of the Buddha, which is called Arya Shakchang, the Four Noble Truth. The noble truth is, first truth is the suffering, the second is the cause of suffering, the third is the cessation of suffering, the fourth, it is the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is called also the Noble Eightfold Path or Arya Tangipamago. This is the right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is the Noble Eightfold Path, or this is divided into Shila, Samadhi, and Paya. So if any individual practice or go through this path, the Noble Eightfold Path, you can eliminate all kind of suffering and all kind of uh, dukkha or suffering, and you may attain the supreme, the bliss, and ultimate peace or ultimate bliss of the nirvana, or you can liberate from in this very lifetime. Otherwise, we have a birth, then we have, when we have a birth, then we have a old age, sickness, suffering, then finally death. When we have a death, then again we have a birth. Why? Because we are uh, we are not free from our ignorance and suffering. If we want to free from our craving or our ignorance, we need to practice the Noble Eightfold Path or Sila Samadhi Paya. This is the very important teachings of the Buddha. Any individual, any people, any caste, creed, color, religion, nationalities, they can apply these teachings in their daily life. And Buddhism is neither a metaphysical path nor a ritualistic path. It is neither a skeptical nor dogmatic. It is neither eternalism nor nihilism. It is neither the self-mortification or nor self-indulgence. It is neither pessimism nor optimism, but it is the realism. It is neither absolutely this only nor other only. It is not extrovert, but it is the introvert, and it is the unique path to the enlightenment. Also, Buddha said that Attadipa Viharata Atta Patisharana. Abide with oneself is an island, and with oneself as a refuge. Also, Buddha said that Dhammadipa Viharata Dhamma Patisharana Yanana Patisharana. Abide with the Dharma as an island, with the Dharma as a refuge. Seek not for an external refuge. So, if we practice the Sila and Samadhi and Panya, we can train up our mind in the moral purification, which lead to the freedom. Or, and we shall take up these aspects of the some guidelines from the Metta Sutta. How can we can train our mind, and how can we maintain the discipline, and it is imposed the disciplining by which is the built the virtue within oneself. The Metta Sutta provide the several states of the virtue as an expression of the metta of universal love or loving kindness. Metta is to be practiced in the form of this virtue, in the words of the metta, in action. Every virtue practiced is metta in action. There are the several such of necessary virtue as indicate in the Metta Sutta or contain. How can you train the mind on the path of the metta or universal love? So the Metta Sutta contain that whose his welfares seeks to promote with a grasp of the state of perfect peace. He should be competent, honest and upright, gentle in speech, meek and not proud. He should be contented, easy to support, not over busy, and simple in the living, tranquil in his senses. Let him be prudent, not be brazen, nor fawing on families. He should refrain from any action that gives the wiser reason to reproof. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings be well disposed at heart. And also, whatever the living creature there be, without the exception, weak or strong, long or huge, middle and seated, short, minute or bulky, whether visible or invisible, and those living far and near, the born and those seeking the birth, may all beings be happy. Let none deceive or declare his fellow anywhere with resentment or hate. Let none wish another's harm. Just as a mother would shield with her own life and only child, so let him have a mind of boundless love for all beings. Let him cultivate a mind of boundless love for all throughout the universe, in all it is height, depth, and breadth. Love that is unrestricted and beyond hatred or enmity. Whether he stand, works, sits, or lie down, as long as he is awake, let him maintain this mindfulness of love. Demand here a divine state, holding no wrong views, virtues, and with vision of ultimate of bliss of nirvana. It ultimate the reality, having overcome all sensual desires, never in a home he born again. So this is the very important teachings of the Buddha, and he deeply underlining how can we develop or train up our mind in the Metta Sutta, the discourse of loving kindness. The world today need the love, sympathy, compassion, appreciated joy for the a peaceful and make a beautiful world for tomorrow for our generation. Because at the very beginning, I have sharing with you, our mind is the important, and everything is begin from our mind. Whatever we speak or act or any performing any action, everything is the begin from our mind. Therefore, we need to be continually practice or aware on our every activities. Therefore, we need to be practice and develop or train up our mind through the go through the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So Sila is mean the establishment of the moral. The immoral life cannot build a peaceful life or peaceful society. If we want to be live happily, joyfully, we need to practice or lead a moral life. Or if we want to live in the peacefully, we need to continue to practice the concentration or develop of our mental thought or every our action. Then when our samadhi or concentration is developed, then it is bring to the your right understanding and right thought, and it is called the wisdom. So dear friends, dear Dhamma brothers and sisters, so the globally this from the last year also this year also we have lost many our friends, our our many relatives, our many brothers and sisters. So due to the pandemic of COVID-19, the Buddha said that we cannot overcome the sickness, the old age, and the death. This is the law of the universe. But we need to be extend our compassion, our sympathy, our loving kindness, our equanimity to each others, because we are human, we are a human son, human brothers and sisters. We have the highest capacity if we continue our compassion, our sympathetic joy, our appreciated joy, our equanimity, and extending our love and compassion to others, we can we can overcome from any kind of uncertainty and challenging in the world. So the Buddha's teachings is highly venerated for mainly the compassion, for the wisdom, and for equality. There is no any discrimination. Uh, there is no any blaming others, because whatever happening in our personal life, our in individual life, in our family life, even in our society, in the globally, as a human, we are as a human beings, or as we are social beings, we are responsible for both pleasure and pain, both in suffering and happiness, because in every action or everything is begin from our human mind. So therefore, if we want to make a better tomorrow or better peaceful life, a better peaceful society, we need to be cultivate or continue the develop or train up to our mind, because mind the precedes the all mental state. One is their chief. Now, when we are talking, when we are thinking, or when we are performing an action, everything is begin from the our mind. So therefore, when you are universal in your approach, that only can you be said to be really pursuing the path of universal love. So therefore, the Metta Sutta or loving kindness, this is highly emphasis. How can we express our love and sympathy, our compassion, our equanimity towards the others beings in our family, our relatives, and all sentient beings in this universe. Therefore, we need to a continuous process. We need to continually develop or train up our mind. Therefore, if we want to train up and develop our mind, we need to practice the sila, samadhi, and panya. This is the important route, or this is the ultimate route. Then if we come and goes this path, or practice with this path, then we can eliminate all kind of suffering in our life. We can achieve all spiritual attainment, all achievement of peace, happiness in this very lifetime. The Noble Eightfold Path is the best path, and this is the best truth, is the Four Noble Truth. And therefore, the Buddha, he was a unique being, an extraordinary man rising in the world for the benefit of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, for the good benefit and happiness of gods and mans. So therefore, the Tathagata, the Buddha, he is the teacher. He just show the path. You, for our liberation, for our peaceful mind or peaceful life, we need to be practice. We need to be cultivate. Buddhism is the practical way or art of living. It means you have to come and you have to see and realize, then you can practice it. If I practice the Shila, then my mind is very peaceful, or I have a good thought or peaceful thinking, and I can do anything in the peaceful way. For therefore, Buddhism is emphasized for lead a moral life, or lead a concentration or higher concentration, or lead a wisdom, because without Shila, Samadhi, and Panya, we cannot establish peace in our personal life, in society, in the world. Therefore, it is very important for each and everyone need to practice the Shila, Samadhi, and Panya. for train up or develop our mind. Because you see the around the world, whatever happening, everything is beginning from the human mind. So therefore we need to be continually develop or continually practice how can we overcome from physical suffering, for mental suffering, for verbal suffering. Because suffering, Buddha say in the Four Noble Truth, the suffering is it is the truth. Because it is also, if we or say another word, it is called unsatisfactoriness. When we want something, when we did not get it, then we are satisfied. Maybe we feel suffering. So therefore, if we stay in this path, the Noble Eightfold Path, and we can achieve a peaceful life, uh, a happiest life. Because the human aspiration is to be free from suffering to find happiness. Because every individual want peace, happiness. So therefore, if we practice this Shila, Samadhi, and Panya, we can train up our mind, we can develop our mind, and we can build up a peaceful society and peaceful life. Therefore, Buddha highly emphasized on the develop or train up our human mind. And also Buddha seeing the highly emphasized on the personal liberation. Because for my own liberation, I need to practice or I need to cultivate myself. Because if I not cultivate myself, if I not practice the Shila Samadhi Panya, I cannot achieve the any peace, happiness, or enlightenment. Because our life is too short. So and also we get this human birth is very rare. So if we do continually a wholesome action or performing any good deed, maybe we can achieve the supreme peace and happiness. Because my peace, my happiness is depend on my thought, on depend my action, whatever I performing. Because we are shaped by our thought to become whatever we think. When we are act or thinking with the pure mind, then joy follows us and that's never leave. So at very beginning, I have been sharing with you all from the verses from the Dhammapada. It is very important because our every thought and thinking, everything is begin from our human mind. All our we are responsible both in whatever happening in our society, in our family or personal life, in our human mind or human intelligence is the responsible for that. So we need to be continue develop or train up our mind through the practice of sila and samadhi and paya. And it is the brings joyful happiest life and happiest family life, or and and it is the bringing a peaceful society. So therefore we need to be a continuous practice develop to our mind. Because our mind is very important. It is the key fact, key point for is depending everything whatever we thinking or everything is from our mind. Because when we act or with an impure mind, then suffering follows us. And when we performing or act anything the pure mind, then joy follows us. So it is the very important. So this year, uh, due to pandemic, all dharma program or dharma sermon, all the occasion in performing the virtually in throughout the world. Especially now, I live in the Bodhgaya. Bodhgaya is the very one important Buddhist holiest site. Because here the Siddhartha Gautama, he is attained the enlightenment in the day of the Vesak or full moon day of the Buddha Purnima or month of Vesak. So it is very important month for us. Because this month is the observing the Vesaka is mean the Vesak is honoring to our great teacher, the Buddha, his birth. his enlightenment and Mahaparinirvana. The Buddha, he showed the path. How can we overcome from suffering? How can we liberate from ourselves? And how can we attain the supreme bliss of the nirvana? He showed the path. And in his fundamental teachings, the noble, the eightfold path, this is the path of called middle way, or this is the path of the purity, and this is the path of the enlightenment. If anyone will contract and practice with this path, then he or she become the noble. Therefore, this is called the noble eightfold path. It is called also in the Pali Ariyattangikumaggo, and also called the middle path or the way of life, or this is also called you can the art of living. So therefore I am not going to talk much because uh, due to pandemic in the around the world, the all human family, all brothers and sisters, we have losses our many our beloved one. So I would like to sharing of our departed relative friends in the around the world, and those who suffer still in many hospital, in the home or hospitalized. We offering our prayers and sharing our merits for their recovery. Also, I would like to thanks to the Global Buddhist Congregation team for their this good initiative, performing the Vesak and organize a wonderful Dhamma discourse in the online. So it is very good initiative for promoting the Dharma and the teachings of the Buddha. I think it is of the one kind of according to the teachings of the Buddha, Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Shukaya. Through these activities, many of they get the benefit from hearing the Dharma or the sermon from different venerable monks from in the globally, and uh, also it is the brings more peace and joy for each and everyone. So once again, I would like to thanks to Mr. Harsdeep Kamble for his for for this for inviting to me and Global Buddhist Congregation team for their warm heart, heartfelt invitation to me for participating and sharing this Dhamma discourse today online with you. So once again, I would like to a humble request to everyone for practice the Dharma. Is mean Dharma always protecting us. Dharma is mean truth. Truth is mean the Dharma. The Buddha's teachings is called the Dharma. So the Dharma guiding to us and show the path. How can we overcome from the samsara? How can we overcome from suffering? So if we practice the Dharma, it is bring to us a joyful or peaceful, happiest life. So Dharma is uh, always guiding to us and always protecting to us. So once again, I would like to thanks to everyone, those who joining and those who hearing my discourses on this evening. So day after tomorrow, we are going to observing the Buddha Purnima or the day of Vesak. So Vesak is very important and auspicious event for around the world in the Buddhist, because this is the the important things, or the is remark the birth or enlightenment and Mahaparinirvana of the Buddha. The Buddha is the greatest gift of the India. In the Buddha enlightened in here, and he is delivered his first sermon in the Sharanath, and he is attained supreme light. He attained the Mahaparinirvana in Kushinara, and also born in the Lumbini. So it is in this four sites, most important holiest site in the Buddhist world. Many Buddhist pilgrims every year they come and for their utmost respect this Buddha and this important holy site. Due to pandemic from the last year, also this year, so many Buddhists around the world they are unable to come in this holy site. But through the online or virtual this online Dhamma discourse from India, I think around the world, our many Dhamma brothers and sisters that joining this online Dhamma discourse, which is brings the more peace and happiness and joy. So thank you very much for everyone, and thank you very much, Dr. Harshdeep Kamble and Global Buddhist Congregation team for their this good initiative for performing the Vesak in online throughout the world. So I would like to, in a conclude, I would like to sharing my merits and blessing chanting in Pali. Sabbetiyo vibhajanto sabba roga vinasatu mate bhavatu antarayo sukhe dirghayuko bhava abhivadana silesya nichang buddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvannang sukang balang आयुरारोग्य संपत्ति सग्ग संपत्ति में वसे अतोपि निबान संपत्ति इमिनते समी जतोति. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Thank you all for your kind attention.